I caught the coronavirus in Mexico. Unfortunately, I was not counted within the 400 and plus people they claim are infected in the country. I live in the state of Oaxaca, in a very small village, where there are no doctors, no nurses, no hospitals, nothing. If you have a cough, fever, any of the symptoms of coronavirus, you will not get tested here. Why? A, you're not dying. B, if you didn't travel to Italy or China, trust me, you're not going to get tested. There are not enough test kits here for anyone to get verified whether they had coronavirus or not. Unfortunately, during that time, I hugged and kissed my 10-year-old Maltipoo, my small dog. He is an emotional support animal that I adopted in Los Angeles before coming here to Mexico. He has been with me through thick and thin. I was suffering from depression when my mother passed away, so he was prescribed to me by my doctor, or psychologist, I should say. And unfortunately, he now has the symptoms that I had back in February. I did not travel to the United States at all for the past 2 or 3 years. I have been here in the state of Oaxaca since then. So I must have contracted the virus here, the coronavirus, in Mexico. Unfortunately, the government is in denial. Yet with only 400 and plus cases they claim are in the country, no. There are way more cases than that. Where I live, again, is a small village in the Sierra Norte, in the north mountains of Oaxaca. The northern mountains of Oaxaca. And like I said, there are no doctors here. In one small village, 6 elderly people passed away since the beginning of the year. None of them were tested. There was no autopsy performed. Nothing. Yet the symptoms of coronavirus were prevalent in each of them. They each had an underlying condition, diabetes, heart failure, and so forth. So, they basically pass it off as, well, it was their time. Basically, that's what the villagers here have said. Oh, it was their time. They're elderly. No one seems too concerned that it might have been the coronavirus. I find it very difficult to believe that in this small village, which is the neighboring village where I live, a lot of people are elderly, and within the past 2.5 months, 6 people have already died. That is not the norm here. Trust me. So, my symptoms began in mid-February. I began to feel weak. I have always been deficient in vitamin D. So I figured maybe it's that. Maybe I just need some vitamin D, get some pills or what have you. But it started to take, I started to feel more and more weak every day. Mind you, I had influenza. I had the cold in January. So it was very different with the cold. The cold, mucus, the whole shebang. And I don't tend to be a sickly person. I don't tend to get sick every fucking year. I don't even get sick twice a year, nothing. I mean, maybe every 10 years. The last time I got sick, oddly enough, I had the H1N1. And that was in January of 2010. So, go figure. After that, I have not been sick. I'm not a sickly person. And that has a lot to do because I'm usually, inside my house. I work from home, so there's not much that I can get from other people. Here in Oaxaca, I also work from home. Yet I do have a 1-year service position that I am obliged to leave the house and go to the municipal agency office every night, twice a day. But anyways, I started presenting those symptoms. I started getting weak. This was in the middle of February. I thought it was that. I thought maybe it was my period too. I figured, well, maybe it's menopause or something, Hey. By the last week of February, I got the whole enchilada. Dry cough, headache, chills, fever, the whole shebang. And it was evident. And I was horrified that there was the possibility that I had contracted the coronavirus. And I mean horrified because there had not been one single case here in Mexico. There weren't even reports. Nobody was taking it seriously. I had heard there were cases in the U.S. since late January. And while nobody was talking about it here, I mean, Mexico and the U.S., they're border countries. So it made perfect sense that I or anyone else would have had the coronavirus in February or by February. Maybe even January for all we know. But mine began in the middle of February. And I was horrified. Doctors here did not test me. They didn't have enough test kits to begin with. I had to go to Oaxaca City and they didn't have any test kits. And the first questions, if you're not dying, they ask, have you been to Italy or have you been to China? And my answer was no. So I didn't get tested. Obviously. And well, since I didn't get tested, they don't have enough test kits and blah, 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 and I had not traveled to either of those countries, they're like, oh, you have the flu. I'm like, well, I just fucking had the flu in January. This is not the fucking flu. It fucking feels very fucking different. So anyways, that was that. I just got over it a couple weeks ago. As of a couple weeks ago, I feel so much better. Almost 100%. But the symptoms of coronavirus are real. Everything, the shortness of breath. It wasn't a lot though. It wasn't like, like I felt I was dying, but I did have a shortness of breath. But because I wasn't dying, obviously they didn't test me. Here in the village, there are no doctors. There are no nurses. There's no one. So if you need to go to the doctor or hospital, you have to go to the city. I live 5 hours away from the damn city by bus. So think about that. So anyways, 2 weeks ago, was the last of it. I felt so much better. Unfortunately, during that time, I kissed my dog. I love him. He is my emotional support baby. And had I known that there was even the slightest possibility that I can transmit to him the coronavirus, I never would have done that. He now has the coronavirus. And unfortunately, he's not being tested for it here in Mexico. His symptoms began last week. Just like mine. I felt weak. And I saw him and he was weak. His eyes were like not with me. He was just tired. He was just very, very weak. He didn't want to play. He didn't want to eat. He was eating very little. And then this week began the dry cough. Sneezing. Mind you, he is current on all his vaccines. Not just the rabies shot, but the LHIPP, whatever it's called. He's dewormed every month. Defleed with Frontline Plus or Revolution every month. And he's a happy dog. He lives very, very happy. He lives inside the home. He's always active. He's bubbly. He is 10 years old. And he is my world. And to see him in the condition that he is now is terrifying. He's only 10 pounds. He weighs 10 pounds. He's a small dog. He has a small body frame. His lungs are small. I don't know how much he will be able to withstand. I am horrified to take him to the vet here in Mexico because people here have misconception about animals, especially dogs. They consider them dirty. And they probably will euthanize him. I don't want him to suffer, but he does seem like he has a fighting chance. He ate better today. I think the best that he has eaten in the past couple of weeks. A little bit more active now. But I know that if I take him to a vet here in Mexico, they will euthanize him. They're not very fond of dogs. They're not very dog friendly, especially here in the state of Oaxaca. The country is moving toward a dog friendly, pet friendly, sort of country, but mainly that is thanks to foreigners. But they're not there yet completely. Many people think dogs are unsanitary and so forth. And that's their own fault. They don't deworm them, they don't deflea them, they don't keep their vaccines up to date. My baby has a health dog. He is an emotional support animal, so I'm scared, but I'm hopeful that he will survive. He's currently on week 2. He is showing some signs of recuperating. His cough was very, very intense earlier today, but this evening it seems like it has subdued somewhat. So he ate very well, so I'm hopeful. But for the rest of you who live in the US and Mexico, please follow those sanitary conditions, those sanitary guidelines. Wash your hands, stay at home. Don't fucking leave your house if you don't fucking have to. Really, don't. And just stay home. Cook at home. You don't need to fucking go out. You don't need to fucking go with your damn friends. You'll see them when this whole shit is over. Stay indoors. This is to all, not just my US friends, but my Mexican friends and relatives. Stay indoors. For your own fucking safety, just stay indoors. And that is it for today. Maybe later this year, I will go ahead and record and upload some reviews that I've had in mind, but I haven't done them. I've been sick, so. But anyways, that is it for today. If you have any questions, leave them below. Subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.